It's crazy how life be some days. When you in a moment where you find yourself and positivity engulfs you, and things is trying to go about fighting. For you to go about going forth, that's a sign to let you know. It's a sign that you should know that what you are doing is the right thing. Because time and time again, things will come to try to go about knocking you down. But be okay and letting yourself know that can't nothing stop me but me. And when you go about holding on to that attitude, then despite what takes place, you're going to do what you got to do. And too many times when we get knocked down, we become discouraged. But I'm here to tell you, that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to be discouraged. The enemy wants you to go about turning away and becoming dismayed in what you're trying to go about getting done. But one thing about life, positivity can't be stopped. And when we come to appreciate the valuable lesson in that, what I'm doing is positive and it's righteous, no matter what happens. You're going to go forth. But just in case you've been wondering why I'm starting off in this positivity movement on the stream, is because as I was loading up to go live, the thing kicked me out. Talk about the connection was off and whatever. But that is just to let me know that this video, this stream, was made for people like you, and coming to realize that when you get that resistance and you get that kickback, it's not because you're doing something wrong, because it's more about things fighting against you that don't want you to go about succeeding. And at times, it becomes hard because when we're trying to go forward and things is constantly pushing and causing that resistance for us to go about going backwards, it gets discouraging at times. And the reason it gets discouraging is because the ones that's going about fighting us from us getting anywhere, it's family members, it's close friends. But that's just to let you know what you are doing is about something. Because it's easy just to go about giving up and not doing nothing. But it takes work. It takes determination. It takes being focused and allowing yourself to say, well, I'm going to get this done. And since I'm going to get this done, it don't matter what I got to go through to go about reaching my end goal. I'm not stopping until I get to that end goal. Because too many of us, because it's auntie that say, oh, it's a worthless idea, I wouldn't pursue that. We merely just become dismissive and not allowing ourselves to say, well, this is my dream. This is my goal. Why am I going to become dismissive and allowing you to go about squandering my dreams? why haven't I just come to realize that just because you don't want shit, that don't mean I shouldn't want nothing either. But because sometimes we put so much stock into what our family or our friends think, that we give them more we give them more leeway in allowing them to be discouraging, toxic, and just downright abusive in what they say in regards to the direction we're trying to take our life. But I'm going to tell you this. Not everybody is trying to do something in their life. Everybody wants something, but not everybody is going to do something in order to go about progressing. And that's where we have to be careful, because just like wickedness comes to go about us knocking us down, there's wickedness within our own tribe, which comes to knock us down. But do not become dismayed. Be okay. The only thing I need from you is to go about realizing the ones who give you support. Encompass yourself with them. Let them be a part of your journey in life. But the ones that's trying to knock you down, you don't have to go about tolerating that. Put that to the side, because their ultimate goal is to not have you succeed. And we cannot go about allowing anything that will not have us succeeding in life. I don't give a damn who it is. If you don't want good for me, you can't be a part of this journey. If you got everything negative to say, at some point in time, you just draining my energy. And that's why I find it so hard to go about going on with the going on. You see? So, when I say this movement is about positivity, not everybody is positive. Some people live in this world of misery, which goes about creating chaos and trying to destroy everything in which they touch. But first step is to go about acknowledging and confirming who's around you, because not everybody wants good for you. And be okay in knowing that despite how you coming across me, that's not going to stop me. That's not going to stop my path in life. For anybody who does not have love for you, don't need to be around you. I'm not saying get some yes persons around you where they condoning everything you do. But if they not willing to accept you for who you are, what are you really doing? You're going to come out taking the short end of the stick. Don't do that to yourself. Life is precious, and it's a beautiful gift. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Unwrap that gift so that you may come to see how special the gift that you have to offer to the world. A lot of us, we go about pretending, even though we know the only person that we're going about deceiving is ourselves. But when you go about deceiving yourself, life will come to show you that what you really believe ain't worth a damn. So embrace the mentality that no matter what comes up against you, that you got what it takes to go about getting to that place. Because everybody want to say that they got that determined, but not everybody goes about embracing the walk fully. And the reason I go about saying that is this. We all know what we got to do for ourselves. But how many of us go about taking that time out to get it done? How many of us go about telling ourselves, you know what, I'm tired of mediocrity. It's time for me to step my game up. Not too many of us, because we can become complacent and allowing BS to go about being the norm of the day. You have to fight for that change in order for that change to go about happening. And in fighting for that change, it will bring that change that you need. But you see, everybody want to hear me talk about some BS. And in talking about BS, what good does that go about bringing us? You see. And in time, if we look at society today and all the BS that society is going about promoting, is it worthwhile listening to BS on a continuous basis? Because like I said before on the previous live, what we go about partaking in is what we become. And for us to become something in life, we have to become determined to make it in life. Because I could only walk through the door, but you gotta walk through it. And walking through that door, you gotta be determined. Determination is the key. Motivation will bring stimulation. But a motivated person that is not determined to go about seeing out the end goal will only be a person that comes up with a lot of ideas that never goes about applying themselves. And one that does not go about applying himself, that person is asleep. So in that person being asleep, they need to go about waking up. Mentally, spiritually, physically, so that they could go about seeing the things that go about plaguing them and keeping them back from them achieving what they're supposed to go about getting. Do you hear me when I say there's forces fighting against you? But you can't allow these forces that are coming to fight against you to go about keeping you in your place. You have to be determined. Because anything that's worth a damn, there will be resistance. That is the name of the game. Resistance comes to show you that what you are doing is worth a damn. So I don't give a damn who it is. It could be your damn friend. It could be your husband. It could be your mama. If they bringing you resistance in your life, with the direction that you're going, if forces beyond your control is trying to go about stopping, impeding your progress in life, have determination that you're going to ride on. Become what you need to become so that you can go about getting to that end goal in your life. Because I'm going to let you in. The crown is heavy, but everybody wants to be a king. everybody wants to rule, but the crown is heavy. So are you a king or are you a queen of your life? Only you can go about deciding that. Don't let nobody put you in a box. Don't allow yourself to be misled by forces fighting against you. So that's why I go about telling everybody. One of the things that you must do is going about seeing and coming to realize the things that's going about affecting you in a negative demeanor. That's trying to go about putting you in a negative light. And when you go about identifying these things, you must rid yourself. On a daily basis, I go about telling all those who are willing to go about listening, cleanse yourself of the things that you have come in contact with. Do not hold on to worthlessness. Do not find yourself in a place where you know the energy that you had partaked in, ran across. Don't allow that to go about sticking next to you. Rid yourself of that. And the way to go about ridding yourself of these things is quite simple. Upon your slumber, before you go to sleep, wash your skin, take your bath, bubble bath, whatever you do, to get you to relax at the end of the day. You take some water, wash your hands, and cleanse your face. And upon retiring for that day, you go about releasing all energies that came across your path, so that you may not go about carrying it into the next day. Because everything wants attention. But I'm here to tell you, not everything deserves your attention. You see, negativity will always try to go about holding on. It would always try to go about infecting the mind, plaguing the spirit with doubt and disbelief. But the way to go about offsetting and beating negativity is to incorporate a steady mindset, being steadfast, going forth, and not allowing things to go about plaguing the psyche. Despite you attempting something and failing, be okay. Timing is everything. And then when that time comes, it will bring what you're supposed to go about getting. You see, we are something like a fruit on a tree. We start off small and yet we grow. But some fruits are sour that makes you wonder, why did you come forth? But the reason they're sour is because what's been planted and what's been incorporated. Lack of nutrients, not the proper nourishments, and just the lack thereof. But some fruits are sweeter than honey. And these fruits that are sweeter than honey is because they have endured and persevered through the tough times. They have withstand. They have received the nourishment that they need in order to go forward. And since they have received that nourishment that they needed, they become the sweet fruit. So learn from nature in that when we go about taking on and receiving and going forth, we too could become that sweet fruit. But majority of the world wants to be that sweet fruit. But majority of the world don't want to take what it becomes to be that sweet fruit. But only you could make that choice. And day in, day out, I pray that those who are capable of enduring find the strength to go about enduring what is needed. That's what I pray. So as you procure and go forth in life, pray that your strength does not go about failing. Pray that you would always go about seeking understanding in anything that you go about doing. Pray that you find your way when you're lost. Pray that what comes to fight against you does not overpower or overtake you. So make it that whatever the day brings, at the end of the day, one must go about releasing that in order for these things not to hold on. Because forces and forces will be applied when one go about accepting the path of forces. If one does not go about pushing back, one will be a push around. And in life, that's not what the throne is all about. Force must be met with force. But only with the proper force do we go about getting the understanding that we need. So I pray that these words do not go about becoming something cool that you heard on YouTube, but these words become something that you go about implementing in your daily life, so that you may go about fighting against the forces that are fighting against you. Make it so that your resistance is one that goes about bringing a level which you become armed and ready for battle. We comfort peace, but we're prepared for battle. And this war, wickedness can never win. So we must arm ourselves with having a determined mindset and a strong faith in believing in the Most High and accepting what you are. Now that's my blessing. For the love, one.